right. Good morning, everybody. All hands on deck. You know, I was just thinking to myself, why would I buy a record anymore? You just go to YouTube and type anything you want. That's really unfair, right? Kenny Chesney deserves to be paid for his music, but we can get it for free. I'm sure I bought that album, but anyway, happy Tuesday. We're going to start off with some cool stuff today. I'm going to keep the thought that we are just blessed. You know, we took the top agents, about 50 of them, to Orlando to Margaritaville, and it was fantastic. We had a ball, but it was surreal to see this big fancy resort empty. I mean, there might have been, the pool was probably what, an acre, 2 acres, and maybe 40 or 50 people there outside of us. The restaurant, there was no line to get a smoothie in the morning. The gym, there were 2 people in it. I mean, it was just wacky. And anyway, just keep that thought in your mind. We are blessed to be in real estate because it's friggin' awesome right now. And with that being said, I'm going to jump right in and share my screen. You know me and my sports, right? But how cool is it going to be when the Bucks win the Super Bowl, the Lightning win the Stanley Cup, and the Rays win the World Series? All Tampa's going to be all eyes on Tampa Bay. And around that time is when they're going to open up international travel. And then they're all going to, if you're going to make up a story, you might as well make up one that makes you feel good. So when that happens, they're going to open up international travel, and all the South Americans, Canadians, and Europeans are going to come and find the West Coast of Florida and buy money and spend money to live here. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's get some quotes out of the way. As we head into the holiday season, yes, we are in the holiday season, and I think we're in a very unique position, which I'll show you on the next slide. We should be, operative word should be, scheduling carefully the time we have off with family, friends, and loved ones, and the time we spend working. That's the operative thing here, guys. I've been doing this for 28 years in this position, and fourth quarter typically sucks because we don't spend calendar schedule time to do our jobs. We schedule times to play around, and that's not the way to do it this year. So let's make sure we're putting in the work time necessary to finish the year strong. And I'm going to ask you for a commitment of, you know, a couple hours a day. Every day will actually produce incredible results and make you a ton of money by Christmas and in the first quarter. Train your mind to see the good in everything. Being positive is a choice. The happiness of our lives depends upon the quality of our thoughts, right? How many times have I told you it's not what happens to you in life, it's how you react to what happens to you in life, right? They didn't slam that door on you because you're a bad person. They were having a bad day. You can choose. Once you learn to quit, it quickly becomes a habit. Ooh, take that one. The happiest people don't always have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. Ooh, I like that one too. Really, nothing can destroy iron but its own rust. Likewise, nothing can really destroy a person but his or her own mindset. Success is a few good habits repeated every day. Decide what you want, believe it's possible, and take action to make it happen every day. Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Let's finish this month of October strong, and here's what it looks like. Okay. October 1st to October 16th. I picked the 16th because it was Friday, and we know some agents don't turn in all the deals as quickly as they should. We had 94 sales for $762,000 in commission the first 16 days of the month. Last year, same period of time, we had 73 for 554. So 73, 94, that's 20% of 73 is 25%. So we're 25% above sales same month last year. Pending to close, we have 151 pending to close for $1,178,000. 151 plus 94 is 240 something closings versus 170 for the same month last year. Guys, what is going on? 240 closings scheduled for October versus 170 closings for October last year. What is it? And the average sales price is way up, right? What is causing this? And I'm going to tell you one other thing. Less people are doing this business than we had working last year. So those who are working now are actually doing more deals. Who did I get a text from yesterday that blew my mind? Oh, Heidi just sold a house in Mirror Bay for $1.3 million and is pending 3 more today. 4 deals in 2 days. So we have less people doing more business, which really is puzzling to me. Then new sales, we got a little dip, kind of, but not really. And I'll explain that in a second. So October 1 to the 16th, we've got 119 sales for $1.1 million. Same period last year, we had 125 sales for $940,000. Less money, more sales. See what I'm saying there? But we also know that last year, the 2019 10-1 to 10-16 was really the deals. So if you turn in a 10-16 deal on the 18th, we're not going to see it in this number, but when we put it in, we're going to back it up. So we really are tracking probably 5 or 10% above same month last year. And then November pendings. This is important because going forward, anything we write now in October is pretty much going to be a December closing. So when November is pretty much, if you don't have a check coming in November, you're probably not going to get one unless you find a random cash deal. We're going to talk about that on my next slide too. So 2020, we have 147 pendings to close. And once again, all the rest of the October sales are going to be put into that. So that number should jump to 200 or so, which is substantially down from the 240. So we are slowing up a little bit. And, but even with 147 pendings for $1.3 million, we had to do 177 closings for $1.2 million. So you're benefiting from more sales and higher sales prices. I don't know how to do this, but Jonathan did a video with me talking about these 4 questions that I think are our mantra for the quarter. And he put it on Instagram and sent me a link and I could see it, but I don't know how to share it. So I wanted him to send that to me. And you guys can see that on your own instead of me repeating it, but that's the concept. You need to decide what your ultimate Q4 looks, feels, and sounds like. And talking to all the people we talk to, there are so many different opportunities and reasons for doing what we do. Taking care of aging parents, taking care of raising young children, commitment to donating to church and charity, to whatever. There's just so many reasons. So what does your ultimate Q4 look like, feel like, and sound like? And then what would you like to, how much money would it take to make that happen? And then figure out how many deals that's going to take, and then pick the path. Once again, I'm going to ask you to go back. If you didn't see Jeff and Mike's class yesterday, they did a deep dive on some really, really, really cool tools that we have that you could really adopt and master and simply add whatever more transactions you want to your business. And I was thinking about a lot of us, our top agents included, are kind of doing what we always do, but we're not adding anything new. If you look at RealSure, for example, what an opportunity to get in front of a FSBO and deliver value, right? If you look at Home Partners, what an incredible opportunity to get somebody into home ownership. I think it was Jeff yesterday, something else I watched, said, if somebody doesn't own a house now, I got an article from Jason Hunter's the guy who sends me mortgage stuff. Rates dropped again. Anybody who doesn't take advantage of this is messed up. I'm learning a course right now on hacking the financial matrix. And it centers around having a line of credit, like a home equity line of credit on your house, and using that line of credit to pay down your bad debt. And because you guys have the opportunity to make extra money and then pay down the line of credit again and then pay down some more bad debt. And it's a whole process and it's really cool. But you can't really do that unless you own a home and have equity in it. So home ownership is really, really important. And right now they can buy a home, even though it's a little more expensive, and lock in a 2.3% interest rate. That's insane. You should be singing this from the top of the mountains all over the world. All right. This is my little talk for today. We are doing a lot of things. And it all centers around leads. And the challenge I'm having with this is this little quote that Thomas sent out. Sales statistics, 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Incredible. So what are they doing? Companies like OpCity and Ojo are writing algorithms, computer programs, to do the automated follow-up for us because we won't do it. So we're being replaced. But then watch this. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% are made on the second contact, 5% of sales are made on the third contact, 10% are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. Yet only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Is there a challenge in that to any of you? So I'm going to show you, we had 250 leads last week. Most of them, 48% of them, according to this stat, will never be followed up with. 25% will make another contact and stop. 12% will stop, and then 10% will actually make 3. But 80% of the sales are made on the 12th contact. So here's the challenge, and I get it. But I'm going to tell you the things we're doing to help you generate deals without doing any work. Not no work. 100 million internet leads, 5 million home sales. Problem? Yes. Buyer leads are plentiful. Follow-up is the challenge. We are in the middle of a test with a company called Ojo, which is a partnership with Century 21. And Ojo is using artificial intelligence to engage a prospect who inquires on real estate, right? So they're going to text them questions about what do you like in a home? What do you like in a neighborhood? And as the customer engages back and forth, the algorithm is going to mix things up and then start calling them. And then when they get to a point where they think there's something there, a person is going to pick up the phone or text and call them and see if they want to talk to a real estate person, at which time they're going to send the lead to one of us, right? So that's taking all that other stuff out of here with Ojo, giving it to them, and then they give us back. It's like planting a seed and they give you back the ripe fruit, right? So we're going to run that test and see what's going on. And then there's a company called Boomtown, and Boomtown is very popular. It's a lead generation tool. They give you a website. You spend money on like Google AdWords, and they drive people to your site. And then they know, because of their algorithms and their history, how many leads you're going to get based on the spend that you have. And Boomtown ends up giving you a shit ton of leads. Problem is, 48% of salespeople never follow up with the prospect, 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop, etc. So that's kind of a bad system. And then we've got another company, I forgot the name of it, but they're going to do the follow-up on those leads, take the seeds, if you will, and then only give them back to us when they're right, because they're going to do that follow-up. And we're testing that in some zip codes. Then we found a company that promises to drive listing leads using predictive analytics on a neighborhood. So we're testing 3 zip codes for that. And we're going to try to get more business coming through that we can give you ripe fruit rather than a seed that needs to be watered, nurtured, and played with over time. Some of the things I've learned is that connections, Jeff talks about connections all the time when he says, you know, when you build rapport with a prospect, you're building a connection, the bigger connection. Zillow tells me that if your phone call can last 5 to 7 minutes with the lead, it's more sticky. They'll probably end up keeping the appointment rather than blowing you off. So connections are where you ask questions and you shut up and listen, right? And you don't make any statements or judgments. You just listen and ask questions. Then we've got all these leads, which I'll show you after the manager's talk, coming through. And I'm going to ask you to go back and look at a training that Jimmy and I did a couple weeks ago on Thursdays. We did the Zap checklist for mobile and desktop. I'm going to really encourage you that you get these leads that we're getting and you put them into Zap and follow the 5-step process, put them on a campaign and set them up on a search. It's not hard to add. It's not hard to do. And it really should be done because we got lots of these. Then you look at Zap Daily and take action, add new contacts, set up searches, post insights, both property and community insights, and then check out all your leads at least weekly and see what's going on with them, because as you build that up, it's going to go. I met with a bunch of new agents in a group in Orlando, and hired virtually, never met in person. All they've had is this virtual learning that we're doing right here and there, and they are blowing it up. They think Zap is the greatest thing since sliced bread because they're using it the right way. So just a thought. I'm going to turn my screen off for now before I get to our new news. Stop my screen. Got a chat. I got to say hello. Kathy Mack says discount loans rates 2.375 on FHA and 3% on conventional. Insane. All right. 86 people online. Very cool. All right, let's start at the bottom right with Otis Bass. Who's now bottom.
Hey, good morning. Yeah. So, man, I tell you what, everything you just went over is something that we're already kind of in line with, but sometimes the way you put it in the words is pretty good. One of the quotes that you said was that stuck out to me is that success is a few good habits repeated every day. And so you look at our current climate, it's like a perfect storm. Rates 2.375. Are you kidding me? The Lightning win the Stanley Cup. The Rays are in the World Series. The Bucks are coming together. They're an exciting team to watch. People are moving down here 1,000 a day to Florida, and so there's a lot of spotlight on us right now, and there's a lot of opportunity for us to take advantage of. One of those is I see a lot of our agents, and I've been paying attention to the ones who are doing more social media posts and videos and so forth. And my hat's off to you first and foremost. What if we made of those little habits repeated every day? What if we just started adding our location in more often, and then tagging yourself as a realtor more often? I know with videos, if you put video keywords in like South Tampa or South Tampa Homes, South Tampa Town Homes, Indian Rocks Beach rentals, stuff like that, inside of your video keywords, it'll get more attention. And YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world right now. The other thing is I've been using AdWorks, and it really works out well, especially for my sellers, because it gives them an email every day of impressions and so forth. So if I have to lower the price, it's a much easier conversation because they know I'm working hard for them and their home is getting exposure. However, why is it not selling? Let's have a conversation about that. And then the other habit that you brought up that I want to bring to everyone's attention, 40% of people never follow up. So what if you just made that slight adjustment and started following up? How much better would your business become? And then the other thing is quality of call, 5 to 7 minutes. If people are only making 3 contacts a day, that's not enough repetition to get the business you're looking to get if you really want to be successful. Not only do you need to have more repetitions, but you need to have quality at bats, quality calls. 5 to 7 minutes, get in, get out, but at the same time, it's been sticky and you've connected, and whenever you come back in 90 days, the reticular activating system that we discuss so often, they're going to expect you to call. Now, guess what? When someone has a real estate business, they go, oh, yeah. I need you to talk to Craig, man. Craig's the dude. You got to talk to him. And so those are the little habits that I want to challenge everyone to, and repeat it every day. And how much better do you think your business will be? And then last but not least, yes, plan your calendar for the holidays. It's going to be an awesome fourth quarter. Thank you, Craig.
Let's go to Deborah Haley.
Good morning, everyone. It was such a blessing last week to be with our top agents. I mean, we are living in a wonderful time right now for real estate, but we were with some of the best agents in the industry, I feel. And to be around and listen to their conversations was not like what you normally hear. And these guys are so on fire and so in love with what they do, and who the people that they help. It was amazing to be around with them for 3 days and just see that and feed off of that, because that's really their mindsets. That is their mindsets. And so we are blessed as management to have those people too, and have you guys. I read a lot of Norman Vincent Peale and I've been a big proponent of him since the 80s, but I read something today that imagining is a goal, is a kind of a promissory note made out to yourself. And that is your visualization. And even when these pledges are made casually, only half seriously, the unconscious mind can hear them and react to them. It's true. You've got to visualize what you want in this business. You have to have it. You have to own it. You have to really see it in order to obtain it. It will happen. There's no magic here. but you've got to focus on it. And so that's what we were around all last week with our top producers, which was really pretty incredible. So my hat's off to Robin. She did a trifecta yesterday. She got a FSBO, she bought the buyer, and she's listing the buyer's house. Great job, Robin, you know, and we're looking in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range on all of them. So God bless you. It's 1.5 million in real estate, just about. Dick and Sandy were out of town last week. We're doing a lot of business. They had listings coming in. It was pretty amazing. Rick had a closing. Joseph has a great listing in Apollo Beach at Sunset Bay. So great townhome for sale. Ashanti had a closing. Amanda's got a new listing as of yesterday. Bob had a closing for 510,000 in Sundance on Friday. Great job. There's 2 lots. It was with an estate that both parties had passed away, and we had to deal with the attorneys. Oh, great. And he was a little stubborn, but he came through for us in the end, and we got it closed. So great job, everybody. Farming's the key. Door knocking's the key. Robin got her FSBO through farming. Phil got 2 listings through farming this month. We're getting stuff through farming right now, and people are starting to door knock, and they're seeing a lot of success on it. So focus on that too. Have an awesome day.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Joe Diener.
Morning, Craig. Morning, everybody. I just want to ditto Deborah's thing on our event last week. It was just awesome. It was nice to meet people that I see on Facebook, but I don't interact every day with. So it was really nice to be able to spend some quality time in the pool. So it was really awesome. Craig, I want to pick up something that Otis was also saying. You know, you need to create a daily schedule. And when you do that and you do it every day, it becomes a habit. And the successful people that I see in our office have a schedule. They follow it every day. They do their follow-ups at a certain time. They do their inspections at a certain time. It becomes a habit. And you don't have to wonder where they are. You know it. Between 8 and 9, they're doing something, and between 9 and 10, they're doing something else. And if you don't create that habit, you'll never be successful, because you'll never have a standard procedure that you do every day. What I want to, my saying for the day is, care enough to create value for customers. If you get that right, selling is easy. And that's what I have for today.
Good job, Joe.
With that, that's one of the things I got from most agents I talked to last week was, you know, it's a lot of work, our job. You are on call, you're never off, your phone rings all the time, emails, texts, all that stuff. And a lot of what I heard was, it doesn't feel like work if you love what you do. And I think that's part of it. And that was a common theme from a lot of people I talked to, you know, because you're sitting in the pool trying to relax and your phone's going off and an offer's coming in and all this other stuff, but that's fantastic, you know. I love it. How about Mike Puma?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I think the only thing I want to say, obviously, dittoing everything everyone just said as far as the Top Agent event. It was awesome. Got to spend a lot of time with agents that I don't get to see as much anymore. So that was awesome. Only thing I will add is I've seen, you know, we had an agent the other day who follows our stuff, who posted one of our posts that I sent out. It had 148 comments, 148, right? So the key is, though, I just want to reiterate, make sure whether it's 148 or whether it's 5, that we are going back and re-engaging with anyone who takes the time to re-engage with you. And if you really want to be effective, take it a step further. Click the little message button and start a conversation one-on-one in Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger with them, right? Take it that step further. This is all about having conversations, and social is the best place to have conversations at scale. But you have to actually take that step. And Facebook and Instagram make it extremely easy to do it. So I promise you, if you just take that one extra step, whether it's 148 or 2, you're going to see some results from it. So, but a lot of people are engaging in what we're doing. Keep it up, and hopefully it's helping.
Thank you. No, and Mike, I want to give some kudos to you. I mean, you are a disciplined MFer. I mean, every day he's coming up, he's creating a post, he's creating the content. I mean, who does that? Every single day, and it's done early. We shared a house when we were in Orlando, and I got up and checked my email, and there's Mike's daily feed, and I go, dude, did you make this for? No, I just did it last night, right? While I was watching the playoffs, and he's creating that content and the post. The least you can do is post it, and then if somebody engages with you, you should engage back. And the point is, getting into a conversation with Messenger is huge, right? That's like digital prospecting. And telephones, I'm shit, my phone rings all, I'm getting a whole bunch, I guess they're politician calls, Arkansas, Seattle, all these places, and I just don't answer. I mean, they don't leave me messages. It just tells me they're telemarketers. So it's just really hard to get through on the telephone these days, but I'll be damned. If you're a messenger person, they're gonna get back to you because they're all hiding from work. How about Kathleen Long?
Good morning, everybody. Following on what we're talking about Facebook, I tweaked up our office Facebook page for Sarasota, and last night we got a total of 853 more engagements. We have an additional 448 people following, and it took me about 9 hours to respond to all these people. But the point of bringing this up is by keeping your content fresh, reaching out, sending out different information, different content. You have to send out stuff that's relevant. It might just be a little smooch on a park bench and people get excited because that's something they can relate to. Or it might be a new paint color. It might be a new do-it-yourself project. All these things matter. And when you're working your business, you have to learn to think outside the box and be a little creative, add in some additional content, and you'll be surprised the dividends that you'll get rewarded with. We started having leads come in late last night, and I was sending them out, and I looked at my husband. I said, "This is fun, isn't it?" You gotta love what you do. And he's like, "You're a workaholic." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I love what I do." But on that point, just like what the agents that have reported to everybody here that was able to go to the retreat in Margaritaville, it is something that you wake up loving and enjoying and looking forward to do each day. Because if you don't feel it, and if you're not really engaged, you're really missing out. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a dream job like this? Seriously, we're making dreams come true. That's the theme over here in Sarasota. And I don't want to monopolize everybody's time, but our people are the goats. Now we know what goats are, right? It's not meh, it's not eating grass. It is greatest of all time. What, players? No, agents. And with that being said, we have turned in a ton of contracts. Delia had a closing, Jack had a closing, Lorraine had a closing, and a new over $500,000 listing, plus a commercial listing that's coming up. Chad had 2 contracts and a new listing. Yvonne, a closing. Neil, closing. Jesse, new listing. Steve just got another listing. He's one of my newer agents down in Main Street, and it's very competitive over here on Main Street downtown, and we're chewing up the competition by using the tools in the toolbox. Just as we do in sports, what do? We have schedules, we practice, we communicate with one another, we have team leaders. So just as in real estate, it's the same thing. You've got a schedule, you practice, you have a routine, you have a team that's supporting you. All we have to do is what? Go out there and practice what we're giving you in tools, make more money, have fun, and have a kick-ass fourth quarter. That's all I got.
Love it. You made me think of something else, but I just forgot it because I was thinking about something else. Ashley, let's give the reload update.
Good morning. Excuse me. I haven't talked to anybody this morning. Shocker. I guess we'll kind of throw out, it's definitely going to be the same thing as consistency, relevance, and keeping things fresh. I want to remind everybody about the AGR contest. I'm so sorry. That is an agent generated referral. And we're going to be really focusing on the Realogy Military Reward segment of those type programs. So since September 1, we've actually closed 7 of those. So thank you so much to the agents that have closed those. Shout out to Brandon, because 5 of those were from Brandon and 2 were from South Tampa. So thank you so much for those supports that just brings more and more business back to you. A huge thank you to the management team for, just like I said, the consistency of doing all of these, the trainings every single day. And it's not just once a day, it's multiple times a day, plus all the content that we have online. Something came to me this morning, funny enough, a story, a memory. I was working for another company and it wasn't Remax. Okay. And I went to a once a month management meeting held by a manager in this one location. They turned on like videos from 5+ years ago that was Remax training. That was not a Remax company. Okay, so well, I thought I would share that with you guys because that sounds so absolutely insane, especially in the fact that things keep changing daily for us. And you guys have done such a darn good job of making sure that we know exactly what's going on, how to make sure our clients are taken care of, and ultimately making sure that you guys can close those deals. So think about that whenever you think about how important this stuff is. So thank you very much, Craig. Thank you, Jeff, everybody that puts all this amazing content out. So as far as we're, tying into Otis's daily schedule, habit, spiel, I have a little quote that says, if you're persistent, you will get it. But if you're consistent, you'll keep it.
Oh, I like it.
Keep it. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking that video I told you about the other day that Jonathan shot. My thing was for you to come up with something extra, and whatever it is, get an extra deal. And I think my example is $20,000. And then it popped in my head. How many of your friends that have jobs can make an extra $20,000 this quarter? None. Making an extra $20,000. Deborah talked about Robin getting a triple trifecta. That'll put $20,000 in her pocket or more. And that's because of consistency, to Ashley's last point. I mean, we take that for granted. Just remember, most people can't fathom making an extra 20, 30, 40, 50,000 bucks. One of our top agents, $108,000 last month. That's crazy money. I mean, just be grateful where you are and take advantage of it. All right, Chris Reed.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? So I've got a handful for you, literally a handful, 5 things to think about, 5 things to keep on your mind that could, it's just literally a resounding of everything that everybody else has said. It's putting it all together. Number 1, focus. What do you focus on? What are you focusing on this morning? What are you focusing on in your business? Are you focusing on all the things that could go wrong with the deal that's falling apart? Or are you focusing on all the ways you can solve the problem? Are you focusing on what you can do to be better today, better this quarter, better next year? Or are you focusing on all the things, wow, with everything going on, the election, the market, it's got to crash sometime. What are you focusing on? What are you choosing to focus on? So number 1, focus. Number 2, Otis, habits. Habits. Everything you do becomes a habit. So are you focusing on the things you're doing daily to create better habits? Your habits will dictate your results and your outcomes. You have to focus on what are you doing on a daily basis, which is basically your schedule. So focus, habits. Number 3, decisions. We know that people usually make decisions faster are the ones who get better results. The ones who sit back and think too much usually miss out. So focus, habits, decisions. Make a decision. What does it mean to decide? It means to cut off from any other option. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it, and do it. Schedule it, get it done. Take some type of action towards that decision right away. If you're going to decide to call 15 people today, start today and say, I'm going to call 1 right now. Take an action towards it. It builds momentum. It's going to get you closer to that. Number 4, proximity. Proximity is power. Proximity is power in the such that with our top agent event, if you get around people like that, you start to feel like, wow, I belong here. I feel like this is where I should be. You get more certainty and belief in yourself. So show up to your office, meet with some people, schedule some appointments with people who are already doing those things, and get in proximity to them, because the proximity of being next to them is power. And number 5, consistency. That's what your schedule is going to give you, consistency. If you're not doing these things consistently on a daily basis with a schedule, creating a new habit, you're not going to get the same kind of outcome as somebody who does. You're just going to trip and fall into things rather than having a predicted schedule and an outcome of things you're going to create. So 5 thoughts for today: focus, habits, decisions, proximity, and consistency.
Awesome. I had to write those down just to make sure I got them. All right, Thomas Simmons. Jeff always saved you for last.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm driving, so just bear with me. Wow. You guys are spot on, management team. Consistency. What I hear everybody subliminally saying, discipline. That's what it takes. I sent my team an email yesterday, and I was having a conversation with my daughter, and she's 16 years old. And we were talking about many different things. And one of the things that we started talking about was success. And she said, Dad, it's all about consistency. I'm like, oh, 16 years old, and she just knows the key. She's just like, you know, if it comes to working out, no matter what you do, it's all about consistency. Otis talked about habit. You developed a habit. Deborah Haley talked about a schedule. These are the things that you need to do. And if we dive into what Jeff and Craig has been trying to push about the Q4, just take a minute and say, you know what is my sales volume month to year? What is my GCI month to year? Excuse me, year to date. Find out what those are. If those have met your goal, if you're short of your goal, then you need to step up and so you can hit your goal. If you have hit your goal already, how much money do you need to save, put away? How much money do you need for your taxes? How much money do you want to do, you need for a nice vacation? Those are the things that need to keep pushing you. You have to constantly have a why in front of you, because that's going to be your driver at the end of the day. If you have listings that have exceeded over 30 days, get with your management team and try to find out what you can do to get that home sold. We must continue to focus, because what gets focused on gets done. And I have one more last thing to leave with you guys, and it's all about attitude. Attitude determines action, action produces results, and results produces the lifestyle that you want to live. Thank you, Craig.
I said, thank you, Thomas. All right, Jeff, bring us home.
Guys, we have one hell of a team, right? I mean, just as an acknowledgement, I mean, we literally have a world championship team, management team, leadership team, all the way throughout, world-class agents. And it's interesting because if you look at it, last week we spent a lot of time with our top agents, and it's fun. All of our top, most of our, probably 99% of our top agents started fresh with us, right? They grew up in this business, and the mindset and the energy and the attitude is there. So it's spot on. I mean, just being able to have this cohesiveness, energy is contagious, right? Is one of the things that I think you're starting to see here. And like attracts like. I mean, when we all get along, our management team is phenomenal. Everything's great. Most of our agents are all getting along. And if somebody doesn't get along, they get booted out, right? It's just attract and repel. And one of the things we're proud about is creating a true tribe of badass, cool people that have something that puts a big ass smile on their face. So that, going back to what Thomas and what Chris just saying, is just that, like, what is the why? But before you even get there, I wrote down a couple of things. You have to start out with gratitude and total acceptance and love for where you are right now. Because it's interesting, if you were to, we always talk about what 5 years from now looks like. Why don't you think about what 5 years ago was like, right? And think about 5 years ago to 5 years today. Look at the exponential cool things that have happened in your life. I mean, just take a second and just write that down. The 5 years of the 5 years, and then you go to the next 5 years, you get to control it all, right? So it's important to actually think about that. And I was thinking about this morning, because I always start, and I'm teaching my son a lot of things too, is start the day with gratitude. Like we little things like, I'm so grateful I have my eyes so I could see your face, right? I'm so thankful I have my ears so I can hear your sweet voice, right? Just little things like that from a gratitude perspective change the frequency and the energy of your entire body. And I was thinking about how fortunate I am to have a lot of all of you around me, and all of the people in business that I've been attracted to. And we've got some really huge projects going on right now, guys. And I thought about the origin of where it happened. And it was about 7 years ago. And I was at a city hall meeting.
Good morning.
For no other reason except I was interested in what was going on in the town and seeing what I can help. And I sat up and was very vocal pro a project that was going on. I had no idea what, I knew the developer, but I had zero, we weren't going to get the listing. I was just helping. And I rallied support and brought support and started talking with people and, really getting in and say, how can I help? What can I do to help? We helped design t-shirts and got green shirts and get everybody to do it. No expectation at all. And then before you know it, you just start to become included, because not one time did I ever ask for anything. Not one thing did we ever assume anything. I was just trying to help people get to where they wanted to go. Right. And it's called contribution. Craig, you talk about all the time, is giving the gift. And then before you know it, somebody will call you up and say, hey, let me talk to you about something, and got an idea. What do you think about this? And then you start to get to be in that group, and the people start to attract you. Then you start to get a little bit more influence and talk to some more people. But it all goes back to contributing. And Mike and I yesterday talked a lot about that, especially for sale by owners, for rent by owners, every buyer, everybody in your sphere. What can I do to help you today? What can I do? What's going on in your life? What can I do to help you? I don't want anything in return, right? The universe will provide for that as long as I have my why, right? So I think we just kind of have to get simplified here. And as long as you have what puts a big ass smile on your face, thankful for where you are right now, what is your next level that you're excited about, and just get clear on that. And then just watch people, places, events, and situations just fall in front of your face. And it just happens. And the stepping stones will appear as long as you have a place to go. So I just wanted to call that simplification out, guys, and just, it's all about helping people. What can I do to help you right now, today? Every one of us has hundreds of people that we know. All of them need help doing something. So call it out and see what you can do. That's what I wanted to talk about this morning.
I agree. All right, team, thank you very much for your contributions so far today. I'm going to share my screen and jump into the rest of the news. And here we go. Easter Seals is doing their virtual Getting Down to Business event. Last year, it was live. We all went to the Pepin Center, I think it was. No, it was somewhere downtown. Anyway, it was a nice event. And they had a quadriplegic, a guy who had no arms and no legs. He literally walked on his stumps. It was amazing to watch what this guy was able to do, turning his disability into an amazing speaking career. Guy flies all over the world giving speeches, and I found out he made $25,000 a speech. Pretty cool. This year, Thursday, we're going to do it virtually. It's from 11:30 to 1:30. And if you guys are closings for kids, there's quite a few of you. We started from the top down and invited you to, it's a $50 ticket. So we wanted to give it to you first, and not everybody's claimed their ticket yet. So if you're participating in closings for kids, get a hold of Susie and make sure she knows you want to watch this event. If you'd like to watch the event itself, it's a $50 ticket, donation to Easter Seals. And this is a fundraiser for them. It's going to be very awkward to do it digitally, but it's this Thursday from 11:30 to 1:30. It's called Getting Down to Business. And they've got an FBI agent who was involved in taking down of the Colombian drug cartel leaders. So it should just be a fascinating story about what they're going to do. And then Q1 to Q3, because of COVID, we did not have any of our top agent luncheons. We have secured the date from November 6th. It's a Friday. And we're going to invite everybody who was qualified for Q1, Q2, or Q3 to join us at Top Golf on Friday, November 6th. So save that date. I'll get the reports from Joy, and then I'll tally them up. And so if you qualified any one or for all three, we'll probably call you out if you did all three. You'll save the date for November 6th at Top Golf. That'll be fun. Relo comparison is just something I wanted to share with you because I'm so proud. I am sharing my screen, right? Yes. I need to go to my inbox. Sales meeting. Top Golf we've covered. I don't want to do that. Great news from Ashley. This was just cool. No, not that, Greg. I've attached BGT is our Tampa anagram for the Carter's relocation business coaching sheet and our Affinity performance report. We are 10% higher on both buyer conversion and seller conversion than our network competitors. That is huge. We are also at 35 points currently. That's official platinum status with a buffer. 31 points to become platinum. Let's keep it going. Beggins has a 70% buyer conversion rate and a 65% seller conversion rate, as opposed to Coldwell Banker at 58% and affiliated at 60%, and 50% on sellers for Coldwell Banker and 54%. So we are really beating the hell out of them. That's amazing, guys. And I don't take credit for it in any way, shape, or form, but I'm very proud that because we have really taught some great lead conversion tips, and It's your dedication that makes it happen. So that was super cool.
I think Ashley has been pounding us so hard for so long. Her consistency and persistence really helps us do this.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's what we say all the time. If you apply some of the things that we make you do, as you know, frustrating as it can be here and there, to your regular business, it'll help all of your conversions. So
No doubt. No doubt.
We're grateful for every single lead, Ashley. You take such good care of us, and those customers end up referring time and time again. So that's a blessing. We appreciate you.
100%. While we were in Margaritaville, they announced the top agent retreat for 2021, presuming that COVID is over, which it will be after the election, we all think. They announced they were going to continue and do Hawaii again, since we didn't get to do it this year. And they're going to invite the 2020, 2019 and 2020 winners. So if you qualified for last year, you get to go to Hawaii because they're going to continue it. And if you qualify for Masters this year, you're going to go to Hawaii. So 2 years worth of award winners. So I think 149,000 gross commission gets you Masters Ruby, which is the entry level to the pathway to Centurion. So if you're anywhere near there, I would highly encourage you to put your foot pedal to the metal, because that's going to be a world-class trip. The listing presentation, you guys are all surprised, is back up. Most of you probably didn't know it was down, but C2MBE3 is back up.com. I do a call every 2 weeks with Paramount Title leadership just to know what's going on and hear what's happening. And guys, every action has a reaction, and the amount of closings we're doing coupled with the amount of closings everybody else is doing has a trickle down effect. You can't just, and we've hired more, and I'm not complaining, we're keeping up with everything, but we don't expect it to slow down, so we're hiring more. I said, what's the biggest challenge you're having? They said, the lenders are killing us. The lenders are super busy. The lenders are swamped with refis, and the lenders are swamped with new mortgages, right? So the title company is the bearer of bad news. They're the ones who create the packages, but not until the lender gives them the paperwork. I was talking to Jennifer yesterday. She said, we're gonna have 5 closings today. And this was like at 11 o'clock in the morning. She said, I've only gotten 1 package. 3 of the lenders are in California and they're not even open yet. And they're not familiar with desktop funding because they don't do it in California. So it's just, they're killing us. So I want you to prepare customers. You know, I'd rather you under promise and over deliver than the other way around. Just tell them there's going to be problems. You know, I'm dealing with that Mirabay deal right now, and it's just a bunch of problems because we've sold so many so fast. The pool company can't keep up. The electrician trim people can't keep up. Everybody's bitching because their house is the most important one. Pull them off of that job and put them on mine. I mean, I've just learned to say, this is going to be a shitty experience. You're going to hate it, but in the end, you're going to have a beautiful house. And I tell them how bad the experience is going to be. And then when it's not that bad, they're happy with it. So it's just ethical advice for me. Prepare customers that the closing process is going to be difficult. And I did top agent retreat as announced. I don't think I'm going to take the time to go through this though, but Jeff, when you were talking about, you're right. It was very impressive to me that most of the top agents in our company were born and raised here. And this is that I haven't put this in to my concept, the smooth words that I want yet. But we have some basic fundamentals as a company that most do not. And we say the same thing over and over again, but it works. But our fundamentals are the art of real estate, the scripts and the dialogues that we teach, using the NLP and the sales tactics that we teach. The strategic pricing analysis is an amazing tool. Our critical date timelines, the listing system, the buying system, dot loop, contract mastery, and single agency are fundamentals that we have created as a company. And we stick to those. And you guys massage them and work them the way you want to work them too, but it's embedded in your brain, right? That's the fundamentals that we do. And that's why when agents leave us and they lose sight of the fundamentals, their business goes down. They think they're making more money, but they're making less. And then I'm looking at all these things to remain aware of, because, you know, we talk about awareness leads to flexibility, flexibility leads to options, options give you power. Remine is amazing. The daily marketing guide that Puma put out is brilliant. Home Partners is an amazing tool. RealSure is probably one of the, what is Realogy, the most something in the world. consider, I forget the words, but it's an amazing program. Renovation loans, in a low inventory market, that's huge. You're exposed to OfferPad's a great friend. Down payment grants to help people get into homes is huge right now with these interest rates. The proper use of ZAP is critical in Op City. So what do you see the lead counts, which are coming up in a second? That's not supposed to be there, this one. Leads went up this week. Have you noticed it just going up and down and up and down and up and down? ZAP, Century 21, Ojo, 45 versus 46, 35 up on Relo. Op City, 73 leads we got this week. Holy cow. Walk-ins from 9 to 13, sign calls 29 to 27. The Zillow team from 15 to 34, social ad engine 35 to 13, and after hours calls down to 4. So nobody's really calling after hours at all. Happy birthday to Siddiqui. Boy, you had an anniversary this month and a birthday this month. Jennifer Ricks from Brandon on the 20th. Ron Baumsteiger on the 21st. Amy Camasso from Brandon on the 22nd. Brian D on the 23rd. Ali Smith on the 25th. Brenda Reeves. Thomas, you got a lot of birthdays this week, dude. On the 26th. And Donna Reichenbach on the 26th as well. And I don't think I need to say this week. I'll save it for next week. Your Spark open enrollment, though, is coming soon. And that's when you get that free forewarn app that Jeff talks about all the time to identify the customer's contact information. $72 a year, plus access to an insurance concierge that can help you get health insurance. So I just want to call that to your attention because it's a big deal if you need health insurance. Check it out. And then I put this up here today just so, yeah, Masters Ruby 2020, 146,000 or 32 units. So that should be your target. So look up your production in 21 online, see where you are now, add your pendings to that. If you're not at 146, that's a good goal to add that much more closings between now and the end of the year. So you can make the Masters level production and you can go to Hawaii with us. And that is now the end. So we're going to log, I know Chris sent out an email, Jeff sent an email, you log into your individual office teams and see what's going on locally. And I thank you very much for your attention. Make it a great Tuesday. Bye all.